Frezja Matisse Baker was a 31-year-old mother from Charlotte, North Carolina, a woman known for her warmth, her devotion to her young son, and her constant effort to give him a stable life. Her family remembers her as someone who always showed up, someone who never missed a chance to hear her child's laughter or tuck him in at night. For her loved ones, Frezja's disappearance would become one of the darkest chapters in their lives. On the evening of December 4th, 2025, Frezja spent time with her son and family. She dropped her 2-year-old boy off at his grandparents' house after a routine appointment, as she often did. Around 10:30 p.m., she called her brother to say she was about an hour away from her next destination, a statement that would later haunt those closest to her because she never arrived. Before we continue with this important story, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps this channel reach more people, spread awareness, and potentially help others. I truly appreciate it. Now let's get back to the story. Frezja was last seen alive that night near Sugar Creek Road and then at a Quick and Easy Food Mart on LaSalle Street in Charlotte. Captured on surveillance before 10 p.m. driving her blue-gray 2004 Honda Accord with paper tag HBL 5984A. Her family and friends had no reason to believe she would wander off or vanish without a word. She always stayed in touch, especially to check on her little boy. When her phone began going straight to voicemail the next day, worry turned quickly to panic. As word spread across Charlotte, on social media, through community pages, and among loved ones, dozens of people rallied in hopes of locating her. Volunteers shared posters, local Reddit threads lit up with pleas for sightings, and cried prayers poured in from residents across the region, all hoping for a breakthrough. Many emphasized the heartbreak of a missing mother who left a small child behind. But days passed with no trace, no new calls, no confirmed sightings, no sign of Frezja or her vehicle.
Speaking with the missing woman's brother and friend, and Dalford, I understand Ms. Baker is a mother with a young son.
John, that young boy, only 2 years old, wondering where his mother is tonight. When she didn't call to check on him Friday, that's when family members realized something wasn't right.
That was her last location.
Frezja's brother, Fred Baker, told us after a dentist appointment on Thursday, she dropped her son off at her grandparents'. It wasn't until around 10:30 she called to let her brother know she was an hour away, but she never showed up.
My sister never came home. She always come home to check on her kids. She always called. If she don't come home, she will call her to check on her kid.
Since Friday, her phone has gone straight to voicemail, and they're worried someone she was with may know where she is. Fred says they've filed a missing persons report, and the family won't stop searching until his sister is found.
Anyone that's seen her, I just say, just bring my sister home. And if y'all do see anything, heard anything, call police or contact people, contact us. You know, we all on Facebook. Everybody know us. Just let us know that she will be okay and she will come home.
Frezja was last seen near LaSalle and Newcastle streets just before 10 on the night of December 4th. She was driving what police described as a gray-blue 2004 Honda Accord with South Carolina plates. As police search for Baker and her vehicle, days are adding up, and her stylist and a good friend, Peaches Johnson, tells us it has been a challenge not knowing what happened.
It's very hard trying to search the city to find her, trying not to think the worst, and try to stay positive and stay prayed up.
Baker's brother tells us when it comes to Frezja returning home to her family, he doesn't have fear, but faith they'll be reunited once again. And CMPD has opened an investigation into Miss Baker's disappearance. If you have information, you can call Crime Stoppers. Tonight, we're live in Charlotte. Dalford Jones, WBTV, on your side.
All right, Dalford, we hope something resolves.
We are following a story of a missing woman. We heard from family. We heard from a friend. This is in Charlotte. Autumn Bracy is here in studio. You're following the story. You spoke with the young lady's family and friend. Catch us up on who she is and what exactly the family and friend had to say.
Yeah, Nick. Well, as you mentioned, 31-year-old Frezja Baker is missing. She is a Charlotte resident, born and raised here. Today, I got a chance to speak with her brother and one of her close friends. As you can imagine, it's a very heartbreaking experience for someone you know and love to be missing. They say it's not like her to not answer her phone for days and days, and so that's how they know that she is missing. Now, the family on Saturday, they officially filed an incident report as she is declared her as a missing person, but they did highlight to me that it's kind of concerning that obviously it's still very early on, but CMPD has not been very communicative as far as updates on search efforts for her, helping with that process to find her as quickly as possible. So they said they've kind of taken it within their own hands to kind of going to some of the places she frequents to see maybe if they can find any clues, of course, reaching out to the community, using them to bring her home safely. They tell me that she was last seen with an associate of hers, a man. Of course, I'm not going to share his name because we don't obviously know if he's the reason that she disappeared. But they say that he's not being very cooperative, I guess, in this process of even helping them look for her. So they tell me that's concerning. But they were able to share some local Charlotte spots that she was last seen from just people in the community reaching out saying, hey, we saw her here on Thursday. Some of those locations were the Cookout on Sugar Creek Road and Quick and Easy on LaSalle Street. But basically the family is just urging, if you have any information, to reach out to CMPD. They are hoping to find her as quickly as possible. They say, again, it's not like her to not talk to her family, her friends, and she's a mother as well. She's a 2-year-old son, so that makes the incident even more troubling. And so tonight at 5 and 6, we'll be sharing more. You'll be able to hear reaction from her brother and her
I know you said there were concerns about the associate. Were there any concerns regarding her health, mental health, prior?
They weren't able to share anything along those lines. They just said they do feel like it's, the person she was with, they're not sure about him. So
yeah, hopefully we get some answers from CMPD on this one. Again, we'll hear from, as you mentioned, her brother and friend later on. Adam, thank you for that report.
The search continues for Frezja Baker, who's been missing since Thursday. I'm here with friends and family who continue to search for her and are also passing out flyers. Just what are some of the things you want people to know right now?
I want everyone to know today at 5:30 here at 1121 Bettisford Road, we will be handing out flyers. Anybody welcome to come and get them. We need them everywhere. We need all hands on deck. We need all boots on the ground. We need everyone help to find her. So please come get some flyers so you can post it on whatever side of town that you stay on. Please help. Your job, anywhere. Facebook, everywhere.
On the morning of December 11th, 2025, Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department responded to a death investigation on Sanders Avenue in West Charlotte. Officers found a vehicle parked behind a church, a blue-gray Honda Accord matching the description of Frezja's car. Inside, in the front passenger seat, was the unresponsive body of a woman. Police confirmed the victim as Frezja Matisse Baker. She was pronounced deceased at the scene. Though details about the cause of death were initially not immediately released, later investigative reports and witness tips indicated Frezja had suffered fatal head injuries from a gunshot wound. For her family, the discovery confirmed their worst fears. She was gone. Within days, detectives focused on a suspect, 38-year-old Lorenzo Thomas Inman Jr., a man Frezja was believed to have been with on the night she disappeared. Police obtained warrants and located Inman in Maxton, North Carolina, roughly 100 miles southeast of Charlotte. He was arrested and transported to Mecklenburg County to face charges in connection with Frezja's death. Inman was charged with murder, assault on a female, and misdemeanor domestic violence. Family and community members learned that he had a documented history of violent behavior and previous domestic violence incidents. This brought a sharp, painful clarity to what many had feared, that Frezja's life was taken as the result of violence, not accident or disappearance. According to sworn detective testimony obtained by investigators, tips from witnesses indicated that Inman may have admitted to an argument with Frezja on December 7th, followed by a struggle involving a firearm. The tipster relayed that Inman claimed the gun discharged during this struggle, and Frezja was left in her vehicle near where the body was ultimately found. Investigators noted the jacket covering her in the car matched the clothing she wore on surveillance footage captured before her disappearance.
CMPD now identifying that woman who was found dead on Sanders Avenue as Frezja Baker. Baker is the Charlotte mother who has been missing since last week. Police found her body and a car that matched the description of her car on Sanders Avenue near Beattiesford Road yesterday. Neighbors we spoke with who believed it was her say they were shocked by the discovery.
It's the most horrific thing you could hear, as just being in the community. Not even, I'm sure the family is going, emotional in this sense, because to hear that your family member has been found in a car, that's truly sad.
Baker's cause of death is undetermined at this time. Police have yet to name a suspect.
Inman Jr. is charged with murdering Baker and is being held in the Mecklenburg County Jail tonight. And our Michael Warwick has learned Inman faced a previous attempted murder charge several years ago and was convicted of that. So Michael's live in the newsroom with these new details tonight that he's uncovered about Baker's murder, when it happened, and Inman's prior attempted murder conviction. So Michael, what have you learned?
Inman Jr.'s arrest warrant shows investigators believe he killed Baker on the same day she was supposed to pick up her 2-year-old son from a relative's. Family frantically searched for her until yesterday when police found her body.
This is the mugshot of accused murderer Lorenza Inman Jr., the 38-year-old who an arrest warrant alleges killed Frezja Baker, who he was dating. Baker was missing for a week. The case, a mystery, until police discovered her car with her body inside behind a West Charlotte church. Jail records show Inman's criminal history dates back almost 2 decades. In 2019, the Mecklenburg County District Attorney's Office said a jury convicted him of an attempted first-degree murder 2 years prior. Inman had followed a man to a Charlotte shopping center and in broad daylight, prosecutors said, confronted him and shot him in the chest before standing over the victim and firing several more rounds. Jail records show Inman received a minimum sentence of 12 years, but only served 2. As recently as October, the DA's office said he pleaded guilty to habitual misdemeanor assault and intimidating a witness. The judge placed Inman on supervised probation.
Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about this story? What would you have done differently if you were in that situation, and what stood out to you the most? Comment down below. I would like to hear your thoughts and opinions. For Frezja's loved ones, the story became more than headlines and news reports. It became a daily reality. A little boy who lost his mother far too soon. A family shattered by questions and grief. A community that watched a search turn into a homicide investigation. A mother remembered not for how she died, but for how deeply she was loved. Friends described her as someone who always put others first. Neighbors recalled her laughter and strength. Family members spoke openly in local news about her unconditional love for her son and how she would never choose to abandon him. In the wake of the tragedy, friends and family organized tributes, including balloon releases, prayer vigils, and gatherings to honor Frezja's memory and to support her child. While details of these events were shared across local social media and community groups, the real impact could be seen in every message urging others to cherish their loved ones and speak up against domestic violence. Frezja Matisse Baker's story is one of love, loss, and a family's enduring hope for justice. She was a mother who treasured her child, a daughter and friend who brought joy into the lives of those around her. Her disappearance captured a community's attention because it represented a fear everyone shares, the fear of losing someone we hold dear. Today, investigators continue to pursue justice. For those creating this YouTube tribute, Frezja's story stands as a powerful reminder that behind every news headline is a human life, one defined not by tragedy, but by love. As we remember Frezja Matisse Baker, we ask everyone watching to keep her family in your prayers. Pray for strength for the people who loved her, for peace in the middle of unimaginable pain, and most of all, pray for justice. And while we pray for justice, let us also show love and support for the person she loved most, her child. A little boy now has to grow up without the comfort of his mother's voice, without her hugs, without the future she was working so hard to build for him. No child should ever have to carry that kind of loss. If you are able, please consider supporting his GoFundMe and helping provide stability, care, and love for the life Frezja fought so hard to protect. Every donation, every share, and every prayer matters. But beyond support, let Frezja's story be a wake-up call. Too often, the warning signs are there long before tragedy happens. Sometimes they show up as control disguised as love, jealousy disguised as protection, isolation disguised as concern, anger excused as stress, apologies that become a cycle, promises to change that are never followed by action. These are not signs of love, these are red flags. If you see someone you love withdrawing, becoming fearful, constantly apologizing for their partner's behavior, or making excuses for mistreatment, do not ignore it. Reach out, ask questions, offer support. Sometimes one conversation can save a life. Let Frezja's story be more than a tragedy we mourn. Let it be action. Let it be the reason someone recognizes the signs and gets out before it is too late. May her memory live on through justice, through truth, and through the love her family will carry for her forever. Rest in peace, Frezja Matisse Baker. You are deeply loved and you will never be forgotten.